Just a reminder of England's group in the Nations League. England, fresh from a 2-0 win over Ireland. Goals coming from, would you believe it, Declan Rice and Jack Grealish.
How glad were they? How happy were they?
Obviously under the interim coach of Lee Carsley with the Irish links there as well. And these are the English newspapers afterwards. Green, green class, snakes bite and sing when you're winning. Yes, that's the reaction in the papers.
Embarrassing, isn't it? The papers are embarrassing.
What did you make of this New England?
New England?
Well, players coming in that we didn't see in the Euros.
To be honest, I think it's very difficult when you're playing against the side, albeit away from home, that you know you should beat and you do beat comfortably. So it's very difficult. I mean, there's not a new face in there, is there? So, I mean, they won 2-0. They were 2-0 up, sorry, at half-time, and then they just kind of shut it down. And you're away from home, international football. That's a great result. I don't care where you are. But to try and figure out what changes or what difference Carsley made, I think is very difficult. It's kind of much of a muchness. I think we'll only really tell when it comes to a bigger game, in a situation where they don't go back to what they've been doing, as far as sitting tight after they go ahead, things like that. Because they didn't do that against Ireland. In the first half, they scored 2, coulda, shoulda scored more, and then in the second half, as you do away from home, see the game out.
See it out. Mark Ogden is with us. What did you make of them, Mark? Did you like what you saw?
I can't hear you guys.
Can you hear us now, Augie?
Because there's a lot of talk with Lee Carsley about what they're waiting to see now, and even down to the point of how he's going to deal with the press afterwards, what he's going to say after these games, what changes we're seeing from him, Craig.
Those newspaper headlines were embarrassing. A lot of people in England have embarrassed themselves this week, big time. You can't gauge this new interim manager playing in this League B of the Nations League. Ireland are garbage. Absolutely garbage. Then they got Finland and Greece. And we had a lead up to this game talking about, and some renowned journalists in England, not Augie, some renowned journalists talking about Lee Carsley not singing the national anthem. He played for Ireland, right? But it doesn't matter if he played for Italy, played for England, played for Ireland, played for Scotland. He's not a singer. He's a football coach. They embarrassed themselves. They are embarrassing themselves by lauding this performance, right? You cannot gauge England in qualifiers because they qualify for almost every tournament at a canter. They're in League B of the Nations League. Ireland have got players that are not playing, most of the players are not even playing at the top level. They had 29% possession at home. They got battered. They're absolutely gubbins. They're garbage. And yet we're seeing these stupid headlines in the newspaper. We're seeing these stupid headlines about a manager not singing an anthem. And we've just seen a manager, a well-renowned manager, who just lost his life recently in Sven-Goran Eriksson. By all accounts, a very, very decent man, but yet was hounded by the English media, particularly the front pages. And we saw it again before this sort of meaningless game about the stupidity of national anthems. And some of the English back-page writers got involved as well and made some ludicrous comments. And that was just the off-the-pitch stuff. Like, do I expect Kane and Grealish and Rice and all these players to demolish Ireland? Yeah, I think Scotland would probably go and dominate Ireland. So Lee Carsley's got these 3 or 4 games, but can we really judge him? Can anybody really judge him? I mean, if they're playing Germany, France, and some of these others, then maybe you go, wow, but this? I mean, come on, let's get in the real world here, right? Let's not get carried away.
Mark, hopefully you can hear me now. Can we judge him after a game like this? What can we say?
Well, you can only judge him against who he's been playing against. But Craig's right. You can't judge him on the basis of he's been given the September internationals by the FA, but they said it'll also probably be the autumn internationals if they can't find a manager to replace Gareth Southgate. So that means he's going to get the whole of the Nations League, and that'll be Republic of Ireland, Finland and Greece. Those teams are nations that England will beat any day of the week. So you can't really judge him on the opposition. I mean, I think the FA, it's almost like it's a cowardly way to do it in many ways, just kind of soften the ground so that Lee Carsley's got 5 or 6 wins under his belt. It makes it impossible to give it to somebody else. But against this opposition, it's pointless. And I totally agree with what Craig said about the football, about the pre-match stuff, that the England manager's job is unique in a way, because some of the nonsense that goes with it, and the national anthem thing was part of that. It was just a crazy, crazy situation. I really felt for Lee Carsley in that. But, you know, it's everybody's personal choice whether to sing a national anthem or not. But you're getting involved with different things and bigger things in the UK right now, so let's just leave it there. But in terms of the football side of it, you know, unless he loses these games, then he's going to get the job. And that is a reality. And that is a strange scenario, because the FA want a guy who has come through the coaching system at St George's Park, which he has. He has got a coaching background. You know, he's certainly a time-served coach, Lee Carsley, and he can't knock his playing career. He had a Premier League career for virtually 20 years, you know. Everton, he spent some time at Derby as well. He's got all the credentials, apart from the fact that he's not got the kind of the status and the kind of the reputation and the track record to manage a nation of England stature. I think what they're trying to do, they're trying to follow the Spanish route of De La Fuente. They think, look, this guy's taken on Spain from taking on the underage teams. Spain won the Euros, but the Spanish football culture is totally different from the English football culture. It's just completely different. You know, the Spain team is not a team full of egos, and they play for each other. They sacrifice a lot for each other. The England team has got a lot of egos in it, and if I'm Lee Carsley and I'm walking into that dressing room, I'm thinking, how's Jude Bellingham going to react to me? How's Harry Kane going to react to me? How's, you know, Phil Foden, Bukayo Saka, all these big names. So there's a lot of issues to address, but ultimately I think he'll get the job.
I mean, again, it's actually quite embarrassing, isn't it? That these people at the FA saw what Spain did, and that could work for us. Can they not think for themselves? Let's be honest. The only reason Gareth Southgate, who actually he bailed the FA out. He comes in off the back of a Sam Allardyce appointment, not long off the back of a Roy Hodgson appointment. I mean, really? That's who these people have been appointing? And Gareth Southgate bails them out by doing way better than anybody thought. Now, we can talk about style and all that, but he did way better. They got so damn lucky there, it was scary. And now they're sitting back going, oh, let's copy. Oh, Spain did well. Let's just take that route. These people can't think for themselves. They really can't.
It's a mirror image, isn't it?
You know the difference?
Mirror image of what they did already with Southgate, and the fact that Spain won it with their coach only makes these people double down in thinking that they're right.
Well, I suppose time will tell.